Iron Man. One of the main contentions that people have against Batman being a really great superhero is they say, well, he doesn't have superpowers. I'm going to attack this greatly. Do you need to have a superpower to be a superhero? People often say that, well, Batman, he has no superpowers. If he had no cash, he wouldn't be able to do half the things that he does. He's a rich guy in a suit with a bunch of toys. I beg to differ. I said before how he worked hard. He also studies hard as well. Criminology, theatricality, being an escape artist. He trained with magicians. He's constantly studying as well and is ready for any hand-to-hand combat as well as any psychological detective work he may need to be. Iron Man, if anything, it should be the poster boy for a rich guy in a suit. There's no hand-to-hand combat. He gets in there and plays video games. It's all guns. You'll never see Batman just press a button or just pull a trigger. He takes care of things with full, unadulterated confrontation. We'll also find later on that Tony Stark, if anyone reads the comics or you go see the sequel this summer, is an alcoholic. Yeah. Or even at that, beyond that, we have here Daredevil, Matt Murdock. Background aside of how almost all these gentlemen I've shown you so far are practically orphans. The only one who has a parent is the one I'm about to get to after this. But for the most part, a lot of these people have no parents. Matt Murdock is one of them. I want to argue with you for a moment here that beyond just having superpowers, does a superhero have to be a fully capable person? Matt Murdock was blinded in a chemical spill in Hell's Kitchen, New York. He grew up having to just feel the air around him, using all of his senses. In the end, he never even needed sight. And he became the Daredevil, the man without fear. And during the day, he became a trial lawyer as well. Fighting crime during the day and at night, two different methodologies. But he's blind, so he can't be a superhero, can he? Or even Batgirl. Batgirl being the daughter of Commissioner Gordon. In 1988, during the comic book Killing Joke, Joker goes to Commissioner Gordon's house and gives her one in the stomach. She then becomes a paraplegic. Does she stop? Is she no longer a superhero? She finds a new means. She gets in a wheelchair and becomes the technological head of the Justice League of America, known as Oracle. While everyone is out fighting crime on the ground level, she is standing behind the controls, constantly telling them where the action's at and how to execute the next play. She's constantly watching and constantly guarding them digitally. And in this modern age, in this digital revolution, we need cyber warriors. But now, I ask you, would you go up to either of these two previous examples, that being Daredevil, who is blind, or Batgirl, now Oracle, who is a paraplegic, and say, hey, that's a lot of great work you've done. Too bad you're not a superhero. You can't walk. You can't see. The villains that these gentlemen attract are also very interesting. It is a sad fact that, yes, with one force comes an equal and opposite reaction. So with a great hero comes great supervillains. So I think that it's also important to realize the sort of reaction that these gentlemen create from their cities. Batman, number one nemesis, the Joker, seen here with his former psychologist, now love plaything, Harley Quinn. It's a true story. The two of them, absolutely insane. I will say and cite that in The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger does give a rather comic book accurate portrayal of the Joker. Sheer insanity, never know his methods. Total catalyst. That's something that Batman goes after. That sheer mass is something that needs to be silenced at all costs. Superman's greatest nemesis? Lex Luthor. A suit with a briefcase? You've got all those powers, but you can't get rid of one guy behind a desk? Who's got the better resolve on this one, folks? Then, finally, methodology. How do these gentlemen solve their cases? Superman, great strength. You can always find this in the movies. Even on the very first comic book cover, Superman is holding up a bus. He throws his enemies through street corners. He flies through buildings, anything to get his man. I ask you, do these bystanders look all that calm with Superman's presence? This was created by Alex Ross for one of the DC comics. This was printed. This is not fan fiction here. Superman may get his man. And at the end of the day, when there are buildings wrecked, buses totally crammed up, who's going to pay for that? You, the taxpayers. The people of Metropolis are always eating it in the taxes because, yay, I got your bad guy. That's great. Who's going to pay for the buildings and all the rubble that you just knocked over? Which is better, putting handcuffs on someone or about $1 million worth of demolition within a 1-hour battle? So in the end here, I think it's pretty clear to see that yes, these are two great superheroes that we have seen throughout decades. Coming up to the centennial pretty soon here, we'll be seeing them for years much longer than here. But I believe that at the end of the day, when measuring a superhero based on their motivation, what is it that drives them to do what they do? Their methodology, how are they going to solve it? And also their powers, you don't need powers, it takes drive. Superman was born into it, never chose to do it, never even showed a desire for doing it. He was commanded to do it and just so happened to have the resources. Batman works every single day to make sure that the people of Gotham are safe and to hopefully restore his family's legacy and build a great city. So with that, I will close with one little clip, hoping that I made my point clear.